So I'm joined here by Jim Bloomfield at the From Granite to Wind rehearsal, just under 2 weeks away from the real event itself. So how are you feeling about that, Jim?
Well, I'm really excited actually. It's going to be an amazing event, but also, quite a sort of quite big boots to fill. I mean, Keith was, sort of towering personality, wasn't he? He's larger than life. His playing was very energised and sort of physical, but also very beautiful as well, I think. And what I love about this whole, big journey of this piece is all the different moods and very different, almost different sound worlds that sometimes exist at the same time. Like there's some quite sort of free, if you like, kind of jagged improvisations, but at the same time, out of that emerges these beautiful melodies. So I love all that stuff. It's kind of very spiritual music as well, I think. So trying to get into the mind of Keith in a way, but do it in my own way, because I don't want to just sort of do a pale imitation of what Keith did, and I'm not attempting to, because he was such a, inspiration and amazing figure on the British, European and world scene. So I'm going to try and do it humbly, kind of in my own way, putting my own spin on it, whilst trying to also be true to some of Keith's kind of, energies and little things that I've sort of picked up off the recording, and just, the general mood and energy I'm trying to recreate, but do it kind of in my own way.
Yeah. Well, we heard a little bit of that rehearsal, and I think you've absolutely nailed it. It sounds incredible. I can't wait to hear it on that big stage. So you were involved in the gig that Ian Storer and John Taylor put on for Keith a couple of years ago, doing some big band pieces.
Yeah.
How does this work differ?
Essentially, it's a bit more complex, and with its different layers, and there's more definite parts of quite complicated written through composed bits, particularly the beginning section where
the piano solo.
Yeah, so there's this theme that goes on. It's about a minute and a half, I suppose, of kind of fast angular lines, semiquavers, and Kevin said, well, it's quite a relief, because Kevin said that even Keith complained about it was quite difficult, and said, I've got to really practice that, and he didn't find it easy. So I'm kind of slightly comforted, because it's the first thing that you hear, so it's kind of a bit like, but if Keith found it, was struggling a little bit at times, then I feel sort of comforted if I make the odd mistake. But that's very exciting.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that he liked to give himself the odd challenge as well.
Yeah.
Pushed his own musical boundaries all the time as well.
And compositionally, I think it's very clever as well. I think the way that, as I say, those sort of fast angular melodies happen that later get taken up by the horns all playing that same line, but interspersed, there's a sort of more of a, up-tempo, happy swing feel. It almost, to me, echoes some of the Township sort of thing that he had. And then he also kind of interlocks, so you kind of get a bit of that with the angular melody happening, and then some great beauty later on with some of the slower chords. Yeah. And also, it's going to be exciting to have, there's some moments where I can just basically freely improvise, and in that space in St George's with the grand piano and the acoustics, that's going to be a great opportunity just to see where that goes. Yeah. I kind of like that. I've always liked that thing of having bits where you don't really know what you're going to do, and you just play in the moment. Yeah. And obviously Keith was into that as well. So, as I say, I'm not trying to be Keith in any way, but I shall sort of relish that kind of idea of, starting and seeing where it goes on the night, like he would, I suppose.
And of course, we're live streaming it, so you'll be able to watch it back afterwards.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Jim, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thanks very much.